They're not the kind of boxes you usually see at Christmas time, but Boris Johnson gave the country an early Christmas present when he called a December general election. The Conservative leader wanted to increase his party's majority in order to get key Brexit bills and other legislation through Parliament, and he got his wish. But whose job was it to count all those votes? Well, the job fell to around 300 counters and election staff at the English Institute of Sport in Attercliffe, who were counting the votes in bundles of 25 from the 6 constituencies and 247 polling stations in Sheffield. One of those counters was Chris Bromley, and he's certainly no stranger to the late nights and the early mornings.
We count the postal votes, that's the first thing we do in the evening. So come 10 o'clock, that's the first thing we count. That's all done and dusted. And then we get the actual ballot boxes that come in from all the districts, from all the church halls and all the little schools where everybody's gone to do the voting. And then we get them in. And so we've just counted those.
It's estimated that close to 1,000 people were involved in the election, from staff in the city's polling stations to the people at the EIS. And the man in charge of running the whole operation was the council's returning officer, John Mothersole.
It's a massive operation, as you can see behind me. It's an operation that's gone on for 5 weeks and all through the day. So actually my job today is actually not to get in the way, to make sure everything looks like it's going okay, to make sure proper process is followed, to make sure the results are declared properly. Because if the results are declared wrongly, then actually we're in a spot of bother.
Thankfully for him, though, the results were announced without a hitch, apart from Lord Mayor Tony Downing with a slight mishap. But what did the day after entail for the pair? Their answers were very different.
Go home, in theory to get some sleep, but I'll be too wired. I've had too much coffee, I'll have too much adrenaline from this. I'll probably sit, sadly, and watch an election programme at home.
Tomorrow will entail me stopping in bed while about dinner time. So that's that, and I've got a day off work, so that's my day sorted. I'm putting the Christmas tree up as well.
After 6 results announcements, the night was over for another 5 years. Or will it be before? This is Josh Chapman for Cutting Edge.